Okay, go. Hey everybody, this is Liz at the Quilted Cowgirl, and it's Monday. The shop is closed. I decided that this is Motivational Monday, so I'm going to show you a really quick quilting pattern that you can do. The snow days are coming, so here's something that you can come grab a layer cake and a ruler and create a quilt over the next few bad weather days. So today I'm going to use the Creative Grid Straight Out of Line ruler. That's what it looks like. It is CGRKA3 by Creative Grids. I do have a few of these in stock if you want to come get one. For this quilt today, I have chosen an Island Batik layer cake. This one is called Free to Fly. But it's got some really nice, beautiful, bright batik colors in it, and so that's what I'm going to be using today to show you this tutorial. So I have already stacked. I took them all out of the package and pressed them, and I'm kind of organized, scrappy, so I have already kind of stacked them up into groupings of 4, and so I have several different ones stacked here in groupings of 4. I had 2 pieces left over that I didn't use because there was 42 pieces in this pack and we're only using 40 today. So I'm going to take 4 10-inch squares here, and I'm going to stack them one on top of each other. So I'm going to just kind of line them up right here. I'm going to lay them just as much and line them up on top of each other as much as I can. So okay, so there's 4 pieces of 10-inch squares all neatly stacked back on top of each other. So the unique thing about this ruler is what I'm going to show you today can be done with either a layer cake, which is 10-inch squares, or a charm pack, which is 5-inch squares. So today the ruler is 10 inches, so I'm going to be using the layer cake. But if I was using a charm pack, I would have to line my charm pack up with the number 5 on this ruler to make those cuts. But since we're using the layer cake, I'm going to take this ruler, and as you can tell, it's not a straight cut, it's a diagonal cut. So I'm going to line it up with the top and the left side here and the bottom edge of the fabric. Just like that. Take my rotary cutter, cut through all 4 layers. I'm going to pick this ruler up and I'm going to turn it and come across the bottom of the fabrics. And I'm going to line it up with the bottom edge of the fabric and the 2 sides over here. And I'm going to make a cut going this way. Okay. So now that we've made that, we should have 4 quadrants here, pieces, just like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start up here in the upper left-hand corner. We're going to take the very top fabric and we're going to move it to the bottom. We're going to come down here to the next set and we're going to take the top 2 fabrics and move them to the bottom. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to take the top 3 fabrics and move them to the bottom. And we're not going to touch that set. So now we have all 4 colors represented in this stack. So each stack will be, you'll have 4 blocks when we get done. So I'm going to pick these up, kind of lay them together, and we're going to go to the sewing machine and sew these. Okay, so I lay mine out here on my sewing machine, just like this, how I'm going to cut them. I use leaders and enders to start and stop my chain sewing so I don't have a lot of thread waste. That's all these little pieces of fabric are for, is just to cut down on thread waste. So I do like to keep a little piece of, this is just a little piece of cardstock. I move it back and forth to help keep me organized of where I'm sewing and where I'm going next. So I'm going to start with these bottom 2 blocks here. And I'm going to put these 2 pieces together just like that. Now, I like to come off the bottom edge just a little bit. I don't like to line them up exactly even because once they're sewn, I want them to all be one straight flush edge. So I come in just a little sliver there and put that top fabric just a little sliver in. So flip it over. I'm using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so I'm lining up on my 1/4 inch here. Okay, so I'm going to press, kind of do a finger press, use my little press and roll to flatten that seam out. And this piece is always going to be opposite of the next one, so I'm just going to lay that like that, move my piece, grab these 2 pieces, and I'm going to line them up just like I did the first. So I'm leaving a little sliver of the yellow showing through. Gonna sew that seam. Okay, I made this seam right here go that direction, so we're gonna make this seam here go this direction. So flip it that way, finger press, and now we're going to put the 2 halves together just like this. Now these seams will not nest up just perfectly with each other because of the way they're cut on the diagonal originally, but I like to see that I have a little bit of tip overhanging here and a little bit of tip overhanging here. So I like for that, I like to split the difference and make sure that that's about the same amount on each side so that when they're sewn, these will all end up square. It's just a little bit of adjustment you do to make it all come out even. So there's that little bit of that bottom one showing through. There's a little bit of that top one. We're going to open it up, and so see, now our edges are nice and straight along with the fabric that we've sewn it to. So I'm going to kind of finger press that. I'm going to move over here to the iron and give it a little bit of steam. Press that block out just like that. And that's our first block. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next block. We're going to grab these 2 here on bottom. We're going to put them together just like this. Moving that piece down to where there's just a little bit of the blue showing through. Sew it in. Now we're doing these 2. Put those 2 together. Little sliver of the green showing. Make this seam go this direction. Even though they're not nesting up to each other, I still like to press them opposite directions so to avoid the bulk back there when you put them together. So now, put these two halves together. Like I said, we're not nesting. There's about 1/4 of an inch difference in there in the middle. Same amount of difference on each tip. Okay, now we're going to press this seam. Okay, come back and do our third block. These two together. We can still see just a little bit of the orange coming through. These two halves together. Okay, let's press this one. And the last block here. Let's put these two together. These two together. block. Let's put the two halves together. Okay, now let's press this one. And there's all 4 blocks made for you. So now if you look at them, you can see that our colors, like take this color for example, the blue, it's in this quadrant, here it's in this quadrant, here it's in this quadrant, and here it's in this quadrant. So it's in a different place in all 4 blocks. So you'll go through and you'll make each set of blocks just like I showed you here. And then once you get all the sets of blocks sewn, then you would take all your different blocks and you would take one from each stack and start laying them out into rows and lay your quilt out. And then that way you can see it all. If there's any of the fabrics touching that you don't want to touch, if you're organized scrappy like me, then you can twist and turn them, and then ready to sew all your rows together, and then put your rows together and you have a completed quilt top. This is a great one-day project. All you need is some 10-inch squares and a ruler and you're good to go. So there's your fast, easy project for the snow days that are coming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, just reach out to me, comment if you like this video. I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel as well. So if you don't follow me on the Quilted Cowgirl YouTube page, then go subscribe to my channel so you get all the videos. If you need any fabrics or the ruler, come see me because I have lots of layer cakes and I have lots of rulers. So come out tomorrow or early Wednesday before the snow hits. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a great day.